Perks of being a doctor. Confidence, I feel, is a muscle, and just like any other muscle, with practice, it can be built. But in the longer run, what counts is how happy you are in life. What would be worse is not even stepping out of your comfort zone. You've identified your problems, and yes, you're going to deal with them. With trust, it takes a long time to build trust, and I think it just takes very little to break it. Yeah. And stop doubting yourself. I think you're going to be a great surgeon. I will drown my career due to my laziness. So okay, this is funny. The most honest response ever. Namaste everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're doing absolutely great. So I asked people what their biggest fears in life were, and I got like a lot of interesting responses, and I'm going to share all of them with you. For this person, my life's biggest fear is not spending enough time with my family because the profession I have chosen makes it difficult for me to give time to my family. Perks of being a doctor. So my biggest fear is about my mental health. If I get pressurized too much, what I do is I remove my frustration onto other people, which leads to me losing out on a lot of people from my life, and I don't want to do that. The good thing is that you're aware of this and you have realized this, and I'm sure that as life passes on, you will be able to overcome this. My biggest fear is not being able to earn and being dependent on others for anything. My biggest fear is to stand up in front of a crowd. I lose my confidence when I'm in the crowd or stage or a group of people. I fail to explain my side of thoughts due to my low confidence. I think stage fear is a legit fear. I think a lot of people face it, but I just want to tell you that confidence, I feel, is a muscle, and just like any other muscle, with practice, it can be built. This one's interesting. My biggest fear is disappointing my parents, which indirectly means that not getting a good PG seat. Although I know that they say it won't matter that much, but deep down I know that it matters to them. I just want a good PG seat and a good career ahead, which will obviously benefit me, but more than that, my parents will be proud. Two things here. First of all, this is a first year medical student writing this. What I want you to do is relax. You're just in first year. You don't have to right now think about a PG and all of that. What you have to concentrate on right now is building up your core and building up your basics well, and concentrate more on becoming a good doctor rather than just securing a PG seat. First year is too early to even think about it, and yeah, later on you can plan for it, but your goal of completing MBBS should be that by the end of 5.5 years you should come out to be a competent doctor, and if you achieve that, that's good enough. Second of all, the fact about parents being happy, but I just feel that our parents are the happiest when we are the happiest. Securing a PG seat might make your parents feel temporarily very elated and proud of you, but in the longer run, what counts is how happy you are in life. And yeah, my biggest fear is not living up to my own expectations. Well, I also feel this sometimes, that maybe even my biggest fear is not being able to live up to my full potential. So yeah, my biggest fear is failure. Well, though it is a very genuine fear to have, but what I want you to look into is the fact that it's only when you're going to try new things in life, and only there is a possibility of failing. Like if in case you're fearing failure, which means that you're actually at least trying new things in life, right? At least you're entering the arena, which many people don't. So yeah, it's a good thing to have a little bit of failure in life. What would be worse is not even stepping out of your comfort zone. This also reminds me of these beautiful lines. मंजिल मिलेगी भटक कर ही सही, गुमराह तो वो हैं जो घर से निकले ही नहीं. Okay, my biggest fear is, what if I don't become a successful doctor and won't gain respect or position in the society? Well, you will, you definitely will, don't worry. My biggest fear is not to lose my parents and my sister's trust. Well, I think with trust, it takes a long time to build trust, and I think it just takes very little to break it. Yeah. Biggest fear is either disappointing someone I love or being left alone. My biggest fear is my anger, And I fear that, sometimes I may behave badly with my patients, and this will probably defame my entire profession. Well, the good thing is that you're aware of this, and I think just being conscious or being aware of your, flaws is actually 50% of the problem solved. And anger can be managed. So I think you have like 5.5 years to go through this to deal with anger more thoughtfully. So it reminds me of this famous quote by Gautam Buddha, which said that anger is a poison that we drink ourselves and expect others to die. So yeah, there are ways you can manage your anger. So don't worry about this. Slowly and steadily start working towards it, and you won't have to fear this anymore. What I find really nice is that you've identified your problems, and yes, you're going to deal with them. Biggest fear shall be that I'll be less productive during my further practice as a doctor, as my parents have already set up a big standard of what an ideal medical practice should be, and I must not fail in their eyes. Okay, there's so much of pressure. I feel, of course, this is coming from a person whose parents are doctors and probably have a very good medical practice going on, but I'm sure that you're going to be good. And sounds cliched, but stop comparing yourself with anybody. Like, comparison probably is the thief of joy. I'm sure that you're going to have a flourishing practice. So concentrate more on doing that rather than living up to any kind of societal pressures and standards. My biggest fear is related to medical field only. I want to become a surgeon, but I question myself and my abilities, whether I'll be able to do surgeries properly or not. As sometimes while doing dissection on the cadaver, I cut the nerves and the arteries. Well, first year is too soon to judge your surgical capabilities. So don't worry even if you cut your cadavers, arteries and nerves by mistake. That's totally fine. Don't judge yourself, don't over scrutinize yourself for that. What I want you to know is right now just concentrate on building up your basics, and as soon as you start entering your clinics, go to the operation theaters, and finally during internship when you're actually doing hands-on, that's when you'll be able to actually see whether what your hand skills are like, and stop doubting yourself. I think you're going to be a great surgeon. Biggest fear is letting my family down or letting my family get worried because of anything related to me. My biggest fear is losing my parents before I become successful. I want to make them happy and take all their responsibilities and unburden them. That's so sweet. Fear is that I will drown my career due to my laziness. So that's what I'm scared about. This is all of us at certain points in our lives, definitely. Okay, this is funny. My biggest fear is that I will become bored because of the stress in the medical field. Okay. This is a genuine fear, guys. This happens. The most honest response ever. That's it for today's video. I hope you had a good time. Let me know in the comments below what your biggest fear is. And yeah, I will see you very, very soon. Till then, take very good care of yourself. Love and peace. Oh, I cannot say this line without laughing. So. Okay, this is hilarious. Also, this is like you're laughing at your... You're done. 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 Okay, done.